Welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level grammar lesson, and we're going to continue to talk about the past continuous verb tense. All right, so we'll just do a little review of the positive past continuous. Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can fill in the blanks with the correct positive past continuous verb, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Yesterday the weather was good and the sun was shining. John was waiting at the bus stop. The bus came, but John didn't notice it because he was listening to music and he was looking at his magazine. He missed the bus. All right, so some positive sentences in the past continuous. John was running. Sarah was taking a shower. It was raining. And Peter was painting. And then negative sentences. John was not running. Sarah was not taking a shower. It wasn't raining. And Peter wasn't painting. So again, we'll just do a quick review, making both positive and negative sentences from the words that are given. The first one is done for you. Jaden wasn't learning French last year, or Jaden was learning French last year, and Jaden wasn't learning French last year. So go ahead and try those on your own, and then restart the video when you're ready to hear the answers. All right, so it was snowing last weekend in the mountains. It wasn't snowing last weekend in the mountains. Grandma was baking a chocolate cake in the oven yesterday afternoon. Grandma wasn't baking a chocolate cake in the oven yesterday afternoon. Ben was teaching German to his cousin at the weekend. Ben wasn't teaching German to his cousin at the weekend. We were watching a match at the football stadium last night. We weren't watching a match at the football stadium last night. And I was doing my homework last night. I wasn't doing my homework last night. So we use the past continuous for an action in the past. It's to describe an activity that was happening at a time in the past. So Liam was washing his car at 2 p.m. yesterday afternoon. We weren't sleeping last night at 11 p.m. We were watching a film at the cinema. And I wasn't talking on the phone. I was doing my homework. We use the past continuous to describe an activity that was unfinished and interrupted by another action in the past. They were walking home when it started to rain. I was taking a shower when the phone rang. And we often use the past simple and the past continuous together to show that something happened in the middle of something else. So the past continuous is the activity that is happening, and the past simple is the interruption. So he was reading the paper. Someone knocked at the door. So here we have the past continuous is the activity, and the simple past is the interruption. All right, so now make some sentences and join them with when. Again, you can pause the video, try this on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So Harold was listening to music when someone rang the doorbell. Astrid was waiting for the bus when it started to rain. The child wasn't sleeping when his mother came upstairs. Now, in these sentences, you can use the past continuous in either the positive or the negative form. Pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So Mom was having a discussion with Grandma when we arrived home. David and Fiona were cooking dinner when they heard the net. the bad news. I did not take an umbrella because it wasn't raining when I left home. We weren't studying at the library when you called. We were at a cafe. Now in these, you're going to use the past simple positive. First one is done for you. He was waiting at the bus stop when he saw a car accident. Go ahead and pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Leah was sitting in a chair when she suddenly fell over. Tony and Ben were cooking a barbecue in the garden when the dog jumped over the fence. Amelia wasn't listening to the teacher when he shouted at her. Here you can use either the past simple or the past continuous. So Teresa was sleeping when a loud noise woke her up. The zebra was running fast when the lioness attacked it. The bus was moving fast when the driver hit the brakes. And Tony was playing football when he broke his leg. So a clause is a part of a sentence, and we often join clauses together with a conjunction. So when is the conjunction in these sentences? So you have Chris was running to the bus stop plus when plus it started to rain. Chris was running to the bus stop when it started to rain. Another example, Chris was running to the bus stop plus when the bus arrived. Chris was running to the bus stop when the bus arrived. Now we can move the clauses. You can say Chris was running to the bus stop when it started to rain, or when it started to rain, comma, Chris was running to the bus stop. When is used for the activity that interrupted. It started to rain, and you use the past simple started in the when clause. All right, so for these, you're going to change the order of the clauses. The first one is done for you. The original sentence is they were watching the football match when they heard the loud explosion. And the changed version is when they heard the loud explosion, comma, they were watching the football match. And so when we use the when clause first, it does need to be followed by a comma. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to hear the answers. Okay, Jared was doing his homework when he spilled his coffee everywhere. So it would be when he spilled his coffee everywhere, comma, Jared was doing his homework. Paul was playing computer games when the TV stopped working. When the TV stopped working, comma, Paul was playing computer games. We weren't eating dinner when you called. When you called, comma, we weren't eating dinner. All right, now the verbs in red are incorrect and you need to correct them. So you can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, Paula watched the movie when her brother came home. So it should be Paula was watching. James was running in the park when all of a sudden he was falling over. Instead of was falling, it would just be when he fell over. They were going up in the elevator when it was stopping. So it should be they were going up in the elevator when it stopped. The family ate dinner quietly when someone knocked at the door. So it should be the family was eating. dinner quietly when someone knocked at the door. All right, now in these sentences, you're going to join the clauses with when. So we've got the phone rang, Jesse was watching a movie. You could say when the phone rang, comma, Jesse was watching a movie. When Jesse was watching a movie when the phone rang. So there's two different ways that you can do these. Go ahead and pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. All right, Chloe and Lucas were walking in the park when a dog barked loudly. A dog barked loudly when Chloe and Lucas were walking in the park. Alex wasn't doing his homework when his parents came home. When his parents came home, Alex wasn't doing his homework. Elizabeth was listening to the radio when she heard the terrible news. When she heard the terrible news, Elizabeth was listening to the radio. All right, if you want to make some positive past continuous sentences for these, try this on your own. And here are some example sentences. You might have something different. He was waiting for the train. They were walking on the road. She was eating in a restaurant. They were watching a movie at the cinema. And now negative sentences. They weren't waiting for the train. They weren't walking on the road. The students weren't studying. They weren't watching a film at the cinema. So now make some sentences with interruptions. So he was watching TV when someone knocked on the door, would be an example for letter A. Tony was running when he fell over. They were eating dinner when the phone rang, and she was sleeping when the baby cried. Now we're going to talk about whether to use when or while. When is used for the activity that interrupted an activity that was happening. We use the past simple in the when clause. So when Terence went upstairs, Catherine was sleeping. Catherine was sleeping when Terence went upstairs. While is used for an activity that was happening. And so we use the past continuous with the while clause. Katie heard her baby cry while she was preparing dinner. While she was preparing dinner, she heard her baby cry. Again, a clause is a part of a sentence, and we join the clauses together with a conjunction. When and while are both conjunctions. So I was playing with the children when he came home. He came home while I was playing with the children. All right, now try to make some sentences using while. So you could say Jerry dropped his phone while he was crossing the road. A shark came while Peter and Sally were swimming in the sea. The camera fell while I was taking a photo. Here you're going to use the past continuous or the past simple, whichever one is correct. The first one is done for you. While I was watching TV, there was a news flash. So again, pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. All right, their father shouted at them while they were listening to hip hop. The bottle slipped out of the waiter's hand while he was pouring the mineral water. Derek pounded on the door while Jane was talking on the phone to her mother. This time, you'll create a sentence using while or when. So we have the example, the phone rang while Jeremy was reading. Jeremy was reading when the phone rang. So go ahead and try these on your own and then restart when you're ready to see the answers. Okay, so while Nicole was preparing dinner, someone knocked on the door. Nicole was preparing dinner when someone knocked on the door. Number 37, while he was waiting at the bus stop, his friend called him. He was waiting at the bus stop when his friend called him. While Alice was eating dinner, she fell off the chair. Alice was eating dinner when she fell off the chair. So this is just a summary matrix of how you form uh, the clauses when you have using when or while, and then some example sentences. Now make some more sentences using when, while, or when. And here are some examples. You can use these or others. You may come up with others. I dropped the knife while I was eating at a restaurant. He was jogging in the park when he fell over. They were cleaning the house when they dropped a painting. Sorry. All right, so now you're going to complete these sentences with while or when. So he was taking a bath when his wife opened the door. Um, while Jared was cleaning his room, some books fell off the shelf. When his friends arrived, Peter was sleeping in the chair. We were watching the TV when the storm started. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.